we're going to go over a couple takedown techniques. This is a judo technique called sumigaishi. It means corner reversal, or it means to reverse, to flip, to turn over. Great technique against jiu-jitsu guys. In judo, the stance is a little more upright, all right, when we move around and we throw. In jiu-jitsu, it's like wrestling. It's a little more of a low stance. You even see guys that'll come out and they're like that guy in that Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, you know, in the Kumite, fought like a monkey. You get guys, you know, and then of course you get the butt scooters, but guys have a lower stance. So you can't do a lot of classic judo throws that come in for shoulder throw or hip throws and things like this, because their hips are way far back, because they're bent over like this. But sumigaishi is a great technique that works very, very well against someone who adopts this posture. So, if we're starting off and we haven't gripped yet, I need to arm drag him. I'm going to go ahead and get my hands on his arm and pull it across. If he's already gripped me, all right, I either break the lapel grip, or if he's got the sleeve grip, I can also break the sleeve grip here, and I arm drag, all right? I'm either going to do a traditional arm drag, where I grab the tricep and pull him across. I can get kind of that 2-on-1 rushing grip and drag him across here, or because it's gi, I like to get to the end of the sleeve and pull it across to my far hip. Once I've arm dragged him, I'm going to reach across his body. What I want to grab is the fabric right here. Imagine like his gi had love handles. That's what I want to grab. If I can't grab that, I want to go for the belt. It kind of depends upon the length of my arm and how big this guy is. If I have short arms, he's a big guy, I may only be able to get the fabric in the middle of the back. Doesn't matter, I just need to grab some real estate on his back side, preferably as far over as I can get. Once I get to this position, I need to put pressure on him to keep his posture broken. If he stands up and postures up, this technique won't work. So once I get the arm drag and reach across, I need to take the front of my shoulder and put pressure on the back of his. And I need to keep him bent over. If he starts to posture up on me, one of the things I can do is I can take my right leg and kick out the back of his left leg. That's going to break him down a little bit further, and he may put his hand on the mat, or he may bounce out a little bit to go ahead and keep his posture so he doesn't face plant on the ground. Once I've got him broken down like this, I'm going to take my outside leg, my left leg, and I'm going to step it up right next to my right leg, which at this point is standing more or less in the middle in between his 2 feet. So I take the left foot and I step it in right next to the right. Both feet are going to be pointing at his far leg, which is his right leg. Once I get in here, a couple things are going to happen. I'm going to be standing just on my left foot, so I have to transition the weight. Weight is on the right leg, left foot comes down, right leg is going to come up, and it's going to hook. My instep and shin are going to hook on the inside of his left leg. Once I'm there, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit down very, very close behind my left heel, just like you would do for an arm bar. I don't want to lay back away from him. I want to sit straight down, so there's no space between my butt and my heel. Step in, and as I sit down, I'm going to pull up and over my right shoulder with whatever grip I have over the back, and I'm going to do like a butterfly sweep lift on the inside of his right leg with my right leg. As I do so, my eyes got to follow my pull, and I'm going to look up and over my right shoulder. I throw him over, I hold on to the sleeve. I don't want to throw the sleeve over. If I do that, he's going to roll with me and now we have a scramble. What I need to do is keep it glued to my hip. All right, he can't turn away from me now because I have this grip. He probably will eventually turn in towards me, but I'm going to put my head in his shoulder, I'm going to bridge up, cut my hips, and pin him in side control. And once I'm in side control, I can move to north-south, or any other position and hold them down a little more firmly and start looking for submissions after that. Alright, I feel like I need to insert another quarter. Alright, from here, I arm drag, reach across and get the back grip, either the fabric on the back. I step in, I sit down, pull up and over with the arm, lift up with the leg, throw him over. Retain the arm, don't throw the arm over. Hold on to it. Put my head on his shoulder, cut the hips, making his shoulder very heavy. I'm going to pin this down, and then from here, I pin him in side control. All right, any questions on the technique? Yes?
Is there a way that you could roll over into mount?
You can, it is tricky though. You can roll over into mount, you can give it a try, but when you roll over into mount, very important. Just like that backwards roll drill that we did for the warm-ups, as you roll over, open your legs wide. All right, because if I borrow Jerry for a second, if I go ahead and I get in the Sumigaishi position and I continue the roll over my shoulder so that I end up face down this time, very real possibility I'm going to end up right here. And now I have to fight my way at a half guard. So as you go over, when you're midair, before you're about to go belly down, open your legs so that you end on either side of them and end up in mount. It is possible, it is tricky. You can also roll all the way through and end up on side control on this side. Because a lot of guys, midway through on the takedown, are going to be looking to try and salvage some type of half guard or guard, I personally would recommend throw them into side control. It's safer. And that way you don't have to fight out of the half guard or the full guard. But yes, if you have the flexibility and awareness of where your legs are in space, by all means do it. All right. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Now, your hand that's over his back when you grab the knee or the belt. When you roll him, do you kind of hold on to that so that
you hold on to it
so it's hard for him to?
Yes, it makes a little leash for him so he can't turn into you as easily. And once you put that head down on his shoulder, it won't hold him forever. All right, and that's why you got to turn belly down. But it will hold him long enough so he can't turn into you and get mount right off the bat. That's his own side control right off the bat. Yes, when you throw him, you pull up and over and you hold on to this. Because you got a grip over here, it's harder for him to turn into you because you got the fabric right there. And as he's trying to turn in, you have the fabric there. And then once you put your head in there, it makes it very hard. He's got to expend a lot of energy. He's got to be a lot stronger than you are to turn in. And you can't scramble away from you because you held that hand on your hip, cut your hips and go belly down, and then you got him pinned. All right, grab a partner, give it a try, please. All right, my foot's on the outside. I can't have it, do this throw and have it be on the outside. That's when I cut his kick away. I go ahead and I step in and I cut it out. All right, the base is out. Now he's really broken down.
You're flexible. So I'm not flexible enough to go all the
All
way.
right, that's how you introduce the foot in between his legs if you have to. Reach in and cut it out. Judo-wise, do like a Uchimata or no Uchido. You're not really trying to throw him with that. You just want to widen his base and keep him from standing up straight. Here, pinning your shoulder to the mat. I've got this right against my hip. Turn in again. All right. Again, you'll get there eventually, but you have to use a lot of energy, and I have to. It's a lot faster and a lot less energy for me just to cut my hips. And then I can move into north-south, side control, whatever pin I need to do for that. All right. So gotta glue that shoulder to the ground. Once he's thrown, plaster your head to his shoulder. That way he can't turn into you. It buys you a few more seconds. All right. Yep. Turn away.
Judo, if I end up doing this,
Yep.
I can still do it from here.
Yeah, no difference.
I just have to make sure to keep.
Yep, you just hug it to you. You can do a regular no-gi arm drag by grabbing the back of the tricep and pull it across your body.
Then just do the same thing.
No difference. No difference. Arm drag is arm drag is arm drag. It's just because there's the gi. If you grip me on the lapel, I put two hands on, and in jiu-jitsu too I can do here. This is a strong grip. Just like you'd break it before you do an arm bar. Here, break the grip. All right. If you have my sleeve, all right, which is often if you have holding my sleeve with this hand, all right. Well, if you got the end of the sleeve, different grip break. Circle it, break the grip here. Now I've also got the arm grip. If you have the sleeve up by the arm or up by the shoulder, I grab it and I push this out and I elbow behind me. Break the grip this way. Drag it and come across. Gotcha. Yeah. Or, as the guy comes in for a grip, arm drag is arm drag is arm drag. Makes no difference. It's all the same.
Okay.
You just got to cross grip him and arm drag him.
Alright. I just
If
want.
hand grabs a hold of his arm or his sleeve, drag it across. Doesn't make a difference.
A common thing that happens, going to be a little different, this is going to be a hip throw, right? You know, like when you go for your blue belts and you go for your purple belts, they probably make it when you go for the brown belt, the old Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Mike throws a punch, I block, I come here, I make my hip throw, right? We're going to do a competition application of that. And this is going to be when Mike's gi is out. Okay, so this happens a lot, right? When I used to do judo, I used to hate when the gi came out. I was like, right? It would I don't know, I didn't like it. I hated when my gi would come out too. I liked everything, I'd always be looking to, tie everything back up, but, sometimes they don't do that. So, when I'm here, I'm gonna grab the bottom of his gi. So I'm not gonna grab it up here. I'm gonna grab it down there, and I'm gonna pull it tight, okay? So from here, what I'm gonna do is I'll pull him forward, and I'm gonna attack like I'm gonna do a single on this leg, but I don't want the single. All right, I'm gonna come into, in wrestling we call it a seat belt. So I'll get Mike to step forward and now attack this leg, hoping that he pulls it back. And then I come here. So I have my head is into, in wrestling we call it in the pocket, right? And this hand is across. If his belt, if I can grab his belt, I'll grab it, even if I grab it through his gi, right there. Okay, or I just grab right there. Okay, so more time, his knees out. I'm gonna grab it. I attack this leg. He pulls it back, and I come right into my seatbelt. Okay, this is a seatbelt. This is an underhook. Underhook is shallow. Seatbelt is deep. Okay. So once I get here, my head's gonna be pushing Mike's head, and I'm gonna be pulling on this part of his gi. All right. Transformers, right? And then I'm gonna step over. I'm gonna step in front of him, and I'm gonna make my hip throw. So for you guys, like, this is where it's gonna get tricky. Is that depending on your height, it's gonna depend how you enter your hips. So if I'm shorter, okay, I'm gonna do an ogoshi. Ogoshi, I'm gonna hop in, and my legs are low, and I make the throw. Okay. So I'm here, and I hop 1, 1, 2, and I kind of get low here. Okay. If you're like me and you're a little taller, you have a couple options. I typically will do the only one of these that I've ever thrown in a competition is a surigoshi. And surigoshi is I'm going to come in kind of straight up. Make the throw. So I got it. I'll come in and bend, but then I straighten my legs to make the throw. Okay? Or I can make what's called an ukigoshi, come in like this. So here, that's hard. That's hard to do. That was Kano Sensei's favorite throw. So here, I'm across, I'm pulling his lapel, using it to drag, step in front, and I make my hip throw, all right? So ideally, what I do is I attack his leg, and when his leg comes out is when I come in for the hip throw. So I'll get it forward, I attack, and I make the hip throw. So we're in here, I grab it, I attack his leg, it comes out, and I come in, I make the hip throw. Okay, so how your height is gonna determine how you come in. Shorter guys, here, bend. Okay, taller guys, bend, and then this. Okay, so it's almost like you're lifting like this. Okay? Any questions? Okay, give it a shot. Thank you. If I get this, right, he might know that, oh man, he's gonna hip throw me, right? So what Nima might do is he's gonna turn he's not gonna let me get through, right? So if he's not letting me get through, what I'm gonna do is step this in deep, and I'm just gonna take him backwards. Okay, cut him back over that leg. Okay, so I'm in here, and he's not letting me get in, right? I'm just gonna step this in deep and bring him over my knee. Nice, real simple little takedown. It's like called a cutback.